The wall anchored split squat is configured in a way where I'm using a support object, removing the weight to maximize flexibility. And in doing so, we're not going to necessarily get any stronger, we're not going to necessarily improve the balance, but we're going to improve how we can smush ourselves down in this position to check that box. And done correctly, this can be very taxing in its own right. So you don't really need anything in particular. You could have a bench, a box. I've got this stall bar here. I could press directly on the wall. I've done this in a doorway, just kind of holding onto the end of the doorway. The point is that you have something to keep yourself upright. And the function of that is a lot of times when we split squat, we'll tend to hedge. And if we go any further, we kind of lose it and everything falls to pieces. Well, now we don't. So I push myself as I'm bracing, pushing myself sort of up into the position, and if I were to let this go, I immediately want to come forward. But the benefit of that is that I'm able to really clamp down on this front leg, and I'm really able to extend on that back leg. So chances are you have one of two issues with the movement if you're seeing this. One is back leg restriction, in that it won't straighten out. The second one is front knee restriction, or you might have a little bit of both. So let's talk about them independently. For the front knee, depending on what your restriction is and how it unfolds, you are trying to push that knee incrementally forward. If you have a lot of knee restriction, maybe this is all you got. But chances are, if I don't have this bracing, it's very difficult for me to sink past that moment. Now I can deload a little bit and allow myself to get those extra bit of range degrees here. Heel can come up, that's totally fine. You don't need a wedge for this. This is really just more of a mobility oriented type thing. Back leg, I'm trying to squeeze my leg to lock out. Unrealistically so, because again, my normal split squat, this is going to push me forward. But in time, if I can get to a place where I can push myself down into this, I have a fighting chance of holding that position. That's where we're trying to end up. Now, as far as your actual reps and execution, it's pretty straightforward. Once you find your spacing and your spot, I'm trying to sink and push myself down and forward, hang out, relax a little bit, down and forward. And these aren't going to be like 10 out of 10 taxing. It's really more about the intent and position. And I'm trying to smoke the end ranges in my hips, and even just doing 5 or 6 here, my restrictions across that back leg, I can really feel that hip starting to open up. Intent, position, smush yourself down into it, use the wall to your advantage.